It is important for it to be able to bring tangible results with wider impact on the lives of the masses in the region. Peace and security are some of the most important prerequisites for a harmonious society. The scourge of terrorism and other transnational organized crimes perpetrated by abusing modern technology calls for cooperation, information sharing, and better understanding among the law enforcement agencies of our region. While we have defined norms and mechanisms to deal with such a menace, enhancing efficacy of these mechanisms and continuous strengthening of the legal framework in tune with the changing complexities would be a useful strategy to pursue. We are committed to work closely with fellow SAARC member states in our fight against such crimes. Mr. Chairman, while we get thrilled with the international perception that the 21st century belongs to Asia, South Asia should by all means prepare itself to act and reap its fair share in the process. We, the leaders, should rise up to the challenge as our enterprising people rightly expect from us to create enabling environment and provide ways and means for them to fully unleash their potentials. This will surely help change the face of our region. The best we can do in the long run would be to synergize all our efforts based on the complementarities of South Asia and to realize the objectives of greater integration of the region leading to the South Asian Economic Union as envisioned by the 11th SAARC Summit in Kathmandu. For this, we need to think and act beyond the book of business as usual attitude and collectively remove barriers and impediments and redeploy our combined efforts to reinforce the bonds of South Asian unity. As a founder and committed member of SAARC, Nepal stands ready to play her due role in the family of South Asian nations. Let us turn South Asia into a powerhouse of growth and development and a beacon of human civilization in the 21st century. Let us collectively think big and act big. Thank you.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Thank you for the very kind words addressed to me and the Maldives. May I now invite the Prime Minister of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan to deliver his address.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Your Excellency, President Muhammad Nasheed, Chairperson SAARC, Your Excellencies, the heads of state and government of SAARC member states and observer delegations, distinguished Secretary General, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. It is a matter of immense pleasure for me to be among my eminent colleagues from South Asia at this important summit of South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. I wish to convey our admiration for the excellent arrangements made by the government of Maldives for this summit. Also, our thanks and gratitude to the government and people of Maldives for their warm and generous hospitality extended to us since our arrival in this picturesque atoll. I wish to congratulate Maldives for adding a historic uniqueness to the gathering by making its first ever SAARC summit in the Southern Hemisphere. I congratulate you, Mr. President, on your assumption of the office of the Chairperson of SAARC. We are confident that under your dynamic stewardship, SAARC will move rapidly towards realization of its cherished goals. To this end, Excellency, please rest assured of Pakistan's full support and cooperation. May I also take this opportunity to acknowledge Prime Minister of Bhutan, His Excellency Mr. Jigme Khosroo Thinley's outstanding leadership of the SAARC process since last summit held in Thimphu in 2010. I also wish to thank the Secretary General, Her Excellency Diana Said and her team for their unremitting efforts to promote the SAARC agenda. From the people of Pakistan, I carry for the peoples of the SAARC region warm greetings and sentiments of goodwill and friendship. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan attaches high importance to SAARC. Our association has come to epitomize the hopes and aspirations of the peoples of our region for peace, progress, and prosperity. South Asia has the potential to become an important engine for global economic growth. It has also the necessary ingredients in terms of human and natural resources to work for the economic miracle of this century. Time has come for the SAARC to lead the way in a historic transformation of a region, utilizing its vast capabilities and build on the sure foundations of great civilizational heritage of the peoples of this region. The theme, Building Bridges, reflects our common desire for promoting mutual understanding and reaching out to each other to create win-win scenarios. It is also resonates with SAARC's overt goal to enhance intra-regional connectivity by 2020. The cultural affinity among our peoples is a huge asset. Shared geography and history has culminated in a unique synthesis of culture and traditions. In many ways, South Asia is unique. We must place our people at the center of SAARC processes. We must enable SAARC to capture the imagination of our peoples and contribute to creating strong mutually beneficial bonds. This alone will assure a glorious future of peace and prosperity. Building bridges is an apt theme to set the future trajectory of SAARC. An important aspect of this is the promotion of the spirit of harmony and peace. SAARC can contribute immensely towards building a trust surplus. Bridging of differences and resolution of disputes can impart new dynamism to SAARC. Interfaith and intercultural harmony must find special emphasis in SAARC's program. An interactive process in this domain will contribute to reveal the beauty and strength of a true South Asian identity. We should build on our inherent strengths and effectively address common issues such as socio-economic disparities, poverty alleviation, food security, energy security, women empowerment, health and education. This requires close coordination at national and regional planes. Ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to note that today South Asia has undergone a democratic transformation. All South Asian states are vibrant democracies. Pakistan completed its democratic transformation and is now well on its way to realizing democracy's dividends by pursuing development at the grassroots level. We must strengthen regional cooperation through sharing of experiences, best practices, and establishing institutional linkages. In pursuing the SAARC socio-economic agenda, we must give special attention to rural development, expansion of agriculture, resource base, development of action plans to combat communicable diseases, promotion of greater collaboration in the health sector, elimination